So to begin my project, I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to divide my canvas board into 4 equal 5-inch by 5-inch sections. So I want to make sure that I measure each line in at least 2 places so that when I connect the dots, I get straight lines. Now I'm going to turn over my canvas board, and using a Sharpie, I'm going to put my first and last name on my canvas project because there'll be 120 of them in this classroom, and I want to make sure mine doesn't get lost. So now in my sketchbook, I'm going to use the ruler to create the same 5-inch by 5-inch box that I created on my canvas board. I want to make sure I've measured everything in at least 2 places so that when I connect the dots, I get straight lines. Inside my box, I'm going to add lines and different types of shapes to fill in the box and make it interesting. I want to make sure that these shapes and lines that I add are balanced so that I have interesting things on both sides of the box, and that they fill the space, so some of my shapes and lines and objects should touch the edges or overlap. Now I'm going to use scissors to cut out my design and cut off any extra paper so that I can transfer my shapes and lines onto my canvas board. To transfer my design, I'm going to use carbon paper. I want to make sure that the dark side is down, and I'm going to place my design on top of the carbon paper and line it up with the sections on my canvas board. I'm going to tape my design in place so that it doesn't move around while I'm tracing it, and then I'm going to go over all of my lines with my pencil and use a ruler or a template on any lines that I want to be exact. The harder I press while tracing over my lines, the darker they'll be on the canvas board. So as you can see here, I didn't press hard enough, so I have to go back over my lines by hand and make them darker. Next time I'll want to make sure that I press more firmly with my pencils so that I don't have to go over my lines. For my next section, I'm going to take my design and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees around the center point. I'll tape it back in place, and I'm going to go over my lines again either by hand or by using a template or a ruler to make them precise. I'll do the same thing for this third section, so I'm going to rotate my design again around the center point, tape it back in place, and go over my lines. When I'm finished tracing my design, I can put my carbon paper back where it came from. Carbon paper can be used many times before it has to be thrown away. The last step that I need to do before I can paint next class is to choose my color schemes and mark where they're going to go on my canvas board. So I'm going to use my colored pencils, and I'm going to very lightly color in some sections inside the color scheme area so that I know next time what I'm up to. I'm choosing to put a monochromatic color scheme inside this section, so I'm going to use different tints and shades of blue. So I'll use my blue colored pencil and any light blue colored pencils that I have to kind of mark where some of these colors might go when I start painting. I'm coloring these sections in on my Canvas board just to help keep me on track next class so that I remember what color schemes I'm doing. It can be really fast, it doesn't have to look great, and I don't have to color in every single section. It's just a reminder. I need to use a different color scheme in each of my 4 sections. So in this section, I'm choosing to use a complementary color scheme with blue-green and red-orange. So I'm doing the same thing here. I'm just lightly coloring in some of my sections to remind me what color scheme I chose next class period.